Hello everyone, how's your weekend going? My weekend supposed to be painting commissions and cleaning the house. Now I'm just doing my laundry because finally it's sunny day. Here's something in my head. I keep thinking if I should share it or no, I'll keep it to myself. I'm just gonna close the door for the washing machine noise. So here's something I keep been thinking. When I first separate with my ex, and my son was 3 years old, and then at that time I decided to keep my son closer to his dad because they have a connection. They have a relationship better than apart from me and my ex didn't get on at all. We still don't get on very well because obviously if we're not together, that means we're holding different value system. We look at life in different way, and things we want is different. So but then I let my son going to see his dad every weekend. And for the first 2 years, it was a struggle because I feel I'm the one always good give the hard work Monday to Friday, nursery, get ready for nursery, do the laundry, iron the clothes, and then cooking 3 times a day. But then he only got him for the weekend. So when my son went to his daddy's, it's about video games, movie fun, go out for a walk. It's like a holiday for him. So when he come back home and then back to the normal life, I always find it out of control. And I'm just like, it is so difficult. Is that really worth it to have him and come back to home, misbehaved himself, and I have all this hard time. I remember for the beginning, especially when he was very young, when he was 3 and 4 and 5, every weekend, most of the weekend he will come back. He come back and then still have that very hyper energy and feel like I don't know. I just found he forget his all the good habit I trying to teach him, like something easy like brush your teeth in the morning and go to bed on time. It's just all the rules every weekend after he come back from his dad. All the rule is out of the window, and he's completely like a free bird. So I just found it so hard, and I would spend Monday to Friday and try to get him back to behave himself again, like behave like life is the regular life is also fun as well. It's not only the weekend can be fun, but we need to enjoy the regular life. Otherwise, we miss most of it, right? So what I'm trying to teach him is like when it's not as many games and as much game time, when it's not like activities every day, and then there's still things we can look into it and enjoying it and enjoying life. But he was really young. I found it very difficult to communicate that in a depth. So I just keep doing what was every weekend. After I keep getting a monkey bag, a wired monkey home, and then during the week I train him to the human again, and then after the weekend he come back like a monkey again. I think if you are watching this video, you probably like maybe you were thinking about, or maybe you're struggling with the same thing. But I think I know some of my friends, they seem like not happy for for their children or their kids to spend the weekend with the dad. But my suggestion from my point is, if they have a good communication, if they have a connection, if you're confident that your ex love the child or the children, and your ex can not gonna harm them or hurt them, but also loves them and want to have a good life for them, I think it's shouldn't keep the children away just because you're angry with your ex, because in the end of the day, it's not our life, is their life, right? The child. And it's super important for children to build up a balance of how to connect with other people in different age group, and then in different culture background, and in different environment, like go to restaurants, and then as much as you can afford, and meeting people. So they will learn they will learn how to manage, or how to they will all the experience will help them to build up their life, and their view of life, and how they react to things. So the first 2 or 3 years was really difficult for me, and then the lockdown was super difficult. The lockdown, because it's only me and him, and then we're 24 hours together. And for me, because I really need a lot of space, because I work from home. I need space for my head, and I need space to do my work. I need free time to put myself together, and then to remind my level of positive thinking, so I don't get break down like old train. So so when why I was so desperate, want to keep my son near to his dad, after after like I I was thinking, like because the life in the UK is not particularly easy for me, without family support here. So, but for myself, okay, this is a little bit personal experience. Myself, my parents divorced when I was 8. Is my son's age now, and then they divorced, and then they're living in two parts of the country. They're living in two different provinces. So it's like 2 hours flight, or say more than 1,000 kilometers away. So I stayed with my mom, and then but then for a while, not for very long, I don't think so. And then but before that, I would spend a lot of time with my grandparents, and because my dad was doing business in the other side of the country, in the south, like down to Hong Kong, Guangzhou, that place. But I was born in the southeast. So I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, and my mom sometimes there, sometimes not there. Uh, I don't remember a lot, because my mom liked traveling, and liked to see new things, and then so very often she would be down the south with my dad, and I was too young to travel. I did do some traveling back to that age, but not a lot. So for me, I just don't remember a lot about my own parents before, when I was very little. I remember one time was New Year. I probably 3, maybe 4 or 5. I don't know the age. But then they come back. I was with my grandparents, and they come back from for Spring Festival. You know, Spring Festival is a very big festival, family festival. It's like Christmas for Westerners. So they come back to for the Christmas for the Spring Festival family holiday, and then I was standing in the living room, and then my auntie and my uncles, they were, because my grandparents, they have 7 children, or 13, maybe 13 or 11 was a lot. The family was excited, say, and then they're kind of like they like to tease kids, right? And in Chinese culture, the kids get teased a lot. So they say, hey, come have a look, who's here. And then I went out from the room, and I look at 2 people, and a lady and a man. I didn't recognize who were them. So they said, call auntie. So I called auntie and uncle. I didn't even recognize that was my parents. That was how long they left me with my grandparents. I just feel those 2 people are very familiar, but I couldn't recognize who were they. So and then so they divorced, uh, and then I stayed with my mom for a little more, maybe a year or so. I don't really remember. I think I just choose to forget them, or I really don't have enough memory to keep for it during that period. So my mom sent me. She decided she wanted to get married again, so she called my auntie and sent me away to my dad. And I don't know what's in her head. Maybe she thinks my dad have a better financial support, or maybe the new guy can't take the ex girl. So I just went away, just like be sent like a puzzle. So that was and then I grew up with my dad. My dad's love is so deep and so strong. So I had all the opportunity, and I get to do the things, all the choice, and I get to do the things I want all the time. Um, so what that experience told me, and then so my mom has always been missing in my life. The role of the mother is always been missing. I remember how much I missed her when I first left, when I was only 8. And then but with time, that love of to my mom, it's become hate. And then it's dramatically changed my personality, because before 8 I was very obey, and like I like to be the good girl, and I was really good in school, and I do things I've been told very. So because of that experience, uh, and then I just with time, when I become a teenager, I was really really the opposite obey. I just do everything to I would just doing everything I'm not supposed to be doing. I was smoking, drinking, and not getting home on time, and sometimes just stay out overnight outside. I just feel that's really, maybe that was a part of me, because all of us, we have two sides, and it's like the bright side and the shadow side, but it's like a coin with always have two sides, right? So I think that was in me anyway. And that part is in everyone, in all of our personality. And we have, so that half bright side and half dark side, that's make us a whole. And I mean, if sometimes if you see that dark part, it's just normal. There's a philosopher, Russell, the British, I don't remember his full name, but he said, others had hell, because everyone obviously sometimes have a very dark side and have a very dark thought, but that doesn't matter. It matters what we choose to react, to behave, to act on. So with that experience myself, that changed me. I'm not saying it's changed me in a bad way. I say no matter what, how we care, how much care we give it to our children, to our child, and then they will still grow into the person they're supposed to be, or they choose to be. But at this point, so when a lot of people are getting much more people are getting divorced these days, or separated, and then they have children, and but I think that the core is for everyone is different, and for a child, if you can provide them a life like predictive, you can no, what's that, not predictive, a life that's stable, and then they can feel secure in that. If there is a chance for them to build up healthy relationship with the family, uh, even it's not the easiest thing for you, but when we think about it, we are really here to support them, to help them to grow into the person they, the best of themselves, and to have like courage, to have confidence, and to have belief in themselves, to believe they can do whatever whenever they want to. I know, like I'm way over like a teenager time, and I know like a lot of philosopher or psychologists, they say the to being mature is to at the point to admit that you can't do everything. But I mean, I still think I can do everything I want to do, and so that's why I'm still working and learning as a day-to-day base. So back to the saying daddy or not saying daddy, I think if the daddy brings, you know, positive or negative, like my ex is really different with me, compared to me. So I do complain to my son sometimes. I will say, your dad this, your dad that. I also blame to my ex, but then I will always explain. I mean, even if you let your children meet your ex, and then let them to have the weekend, it doesn't mean you have to love them again, doesn't mean you have to even like them, doesn't mean you have to pretend nothing is you don't hate about them. You can still be like, yes, I hate, uh, I say to my son that I'm sorry, but I have to say I'm not a big fan of your dad. But then it's my problem. It's not nothing to do with him. It's nothing to do with you. It's just me. I just not a big fan of him. And then sometimes I'll complain, and then I'll be like, sorry, it's just me. I'm moody, and I just want to get someone to blame. I think it's your dad's fault. You know, like I think the important is ourselves. Is what we really think we how much we can take, and how much responsibility we can take to ourselves, instead of putting on our child. For my son, his dad is really important to him, and uh, because that is a place, like if it's missing, it's going to be missing, and there's nothing can replace that, and there's a big part of missing. Because you know what um we have the child and with our partner or ex-partner, and then so the child is made from half of you and half of him was started. So when a child is born, and then he in his head, his word can only be completed by having both, having the mommy and the daddy. So uh so I think if you do have the opportunity, and then let them see them, even try a couple of hours under your supervision, or that will be a big impact into your like to your son, or your children. Sorry, I say son because I have a son. So to your children's life, it's really like replaceable. You can't do anything to to say I'm gonna make it up with something else. And it doesn't matter how rich you get like in the future, or how rich you are now, and then you can't buy them a original daddy or original mommy if is that is the case. I know single parenting, it's not easy, but but if we have already choose that stage, if we are already here, I mean, the only thing we can do is bring the best result out, and the best result will be our children grow like happily, confidence, and be able to see things separate, not blaming themselves for the divorce or for the separation. Um, that's I think that is what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry if it's not very logic, but that's how my head works. I'm just trying to be honest, and have a think about how to what support we give to our children, and how to support them the best way. Like even your ex is not very positive, and maybe he or she is not that type of person, can't bring in, but you can guide them. If you think the children's growth is above everything, is above the hatred between you and your ex, and then if the children's life in the future, what his personal their personalities and their how they take life, it's about their growth, is above every all the the bad experience we had with our ex, which I believe it should be. Because the children we have, the best that we can give to them, it's a foundation. And then like when they're watching you, they're watching how you deal with when things happen badly. Because when things good, everything's smooth, and no stress, stress free. But when things bad, they are watching you. And my dad have been really my good, very good, very very good example for me to So when I smashed on when I fell like that, I still have the confidence that I'll be able to get up again. So I just keep trying new things because I know no matter what happened, I'll be able to get up again. And I think that's when it's down to the basic, it's really like how we act in our own life. The child is watching, and how we think how important their future than our past. I think that is important. And when they feel real love, when they see you are really doing your best, and you are really giving your hardest, and that will build up the understanding. Even we keep making mistakes, it doesn't matter, as long as the start, the reason we started is good, and we're not hurting them, we're not teasing them too much, or we're not blaming things on them, and they will see our growth, and then they will take that on board, and that will become a part of them as well. So for me, I think I want my son to be able to have that past, like where he will know whatever happened in his life, he will have the strength to get up. So let your child build up a whole world with your support. Thank you. I better go start to do my housework now. Bye. Have a good weekend.